Council, what a great day for scouting. We hope you're having a great day too. Wow, I'm here with Zoe Nakashian, one of our district executives. She's been recording a lot of great den leader meetings and achievements and merit badge workshops. It's so much fun. We hope you're enjoying them as much as we've enjoyed producing them. Zoe, what's up next?
Next up is Into the Wild for the Webelos. You can watch the birds from your backyard or from your window. We're going to discuss ecosystems, consumers, producers and things like that, and all sorts of exciting things.
Wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. We're really looking forward to it. Always remember, never forget, scouting is fun.
Hi everyone, welcome to Webelos Den Meeting. We are going to do Into the Wild pin today. But first of all, let's do our opening ceremony. So if you guys want to join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. If you're at home, not in uniform, then just put your right hand over your heart. If you are in uniform, of course, then you salute. So if you want to join me in the pledge, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Then we're going to do the Scout Oath and the Scout Law, so if you guys join along with me. On my honour, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scout laws, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake and merrily straight. Then we're going to do the Scout Law. So a Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, reverent. Okay, so Into the Wild belt loop. It may be an odd one to do at home when we're all stuck inside, but there are ways that we can do it. So first of all, we all have a window. Some of you might have backyards too that you can use as well for this, but it is up to you. Window will work if you have nothing else. We're going to look for birds. For the next week, I want you to pick a time of day, spend about 10 minutes looking out of your window in your backyard and seeing what birds you can see. If you have permission from your parents and you've done your Cyber Chip Award, then you can use online resources to look up and see if you can identify those birds. But I want you to write down each day with your pen and your paper what birds you saw, how many, and things we're doing. While you're there, another thing we have to do is look for other animals. Look for insects, look for birds, look for squirrels, you name it, whatever it is, a living creature will work. You're looking for 4 different ones. I want you to write down what you observe them doing, whether you see them eating nuts, spinning a spider web, whatever it is. Write that down on your piece of paper with your birds that you see in that time span too. Then, if you have permission from a parent or if you have your own phone, take a picture of one of those creatures and doing whatever it's doing, something that you find is interesting. Even if you're looking out of a window, you might see a bee or a flyby, you might see a spider spinning a spider web, whatever it is, that's fine. The next thing we're going to discuss is birds' flyways. As I'm sure many of you know already, lots of types of birds, like hummingbirds to geese, migrate. There are in the United States 4 main flyways, which are like roadways that they use to migrate along. These are determined by a large supply of natural resources that they can use, food, shelter, water, and bordered by mountains and things like that keep them along that channel that they fly. So I have a map here indicating them. There's the Pacific Flyway, the Central Flyway, the Mississippi Flyway, the Atlantic Flyway. Take a good look at the map. I want you to write down on your piece of paper where you think is the closest flyway to us. Okay, we also need to look at native animals to the region. Again, this is something that you can do later on, that you can Google and look for native animals, but I have a couple of examples that are native to this region but not necessarily to other parts of the United States. So, yes, it is the right way up. We have the Texas brown tarantula here. It lives underground in burrows. It does not spin webs. It likes to catch its prey as it happens to be walking around it. The males live for about 6 to 8 years. Females live for about 20 years. So you can pick that animal, you can go ahead and you can look at other animals that are native to this area. Second example I have is the three-toed box turtle. As I'm sure you're aware, this one's aquatic, sometimes seeing it in lakes and things. It has a hinge across its middle that allows it to bend and seal up its shell so it can't be eaten, hence its name box turtle. Go ahead, find a animal native to this area, either one of these two or another one, and find out a bit about it to go back and write in your handbook. Last thing that we're going to, two more things we're going to discuss today. How many of you guys know what an ecosystem is? If you don't know, it is the cycle through which food and energy passes through the food chain from one organism to another. So all energy on this planet comes from the sun. It provides us with light, it provides us with heat, but different things are able to use it in different ways. So all energy comes straight from the sun. Obviously plants are generally the first thing to use this energy. They convert it into the energy that they need to live and grow and breathe. They also take nutrients from the soil, and between that they are able to build them up. And obviously other things eat the plants, like rabbits and sheep, or us for that matter of fact. And then something comes along and will eat those plants, like a fox or a wolf or something, like eat the plants, eat the animals that ate the plants. Eventually these higher animals also die, and then we have decomposers that come in and break down the bodies of either dead plants that didn't get eaten or dead animals and things like that. And these decomposers turn the nutrients back in our bodies back into things that plants can use in the soil. So it's a cycle that a plant can then use those nutrients that have been freed up again in the plants. So sun, it all starts off with sun, then we have the producers, which are plants, then we have consumers. Two types, secondary and primary. The primary consumers are the animals, the herbivores that eat plants, and then the secondary consumers are the carnivores that eat the animals. And then finally you have the decomposers like fungus and bacteria and things like that that break things down. So I want you to go have a think and see if you can build up the chain. So what is the producer? What is the plant? What is going to eat the plant? What is the animal that's going to eat the animal that ate the plant? And finally, what is the item or the thing that will break down the dead animals and plants? Fill in those blanks. Last thing for you to think about for today is, how do us as humans disrupt the balance of nature? You have an ecosystem there that is working nicely. What do we do that changes it? So for example, if you have a forest, we might cut down the trees so that we can plant more fields, which means that the ecosystem has changed. Where it used to be based on trees, now it has been changed and it now relies on ground level grass type plants that we're using for crops. But that means that different animals will need to move in and live there. How do we disrupt the ecosystem? Have a think and see if you can think of some other examples. Okay then, thank you very much. We will see you guys next week.